The U.S. economy is top of mind with everyone right now. So where's it headed next? And what should we know right now? Joined today by Art Laffer, the true expert in all things economic policy. Dr. Laffer, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So what do you think of the current state of the U.S. economy?
It's really terrible. I mean, we had just the last quarter's number was revised down to 0.8% growth annualized. And I think this quarter was what, 1.2, 1.3, something like that. This is terrible. This is the worst economic recovery in U.S. history. And it is as far below the next worst as the next worst is below the best. So, you know, we're going to get a change at the top.
So that's what we need. We need a change at the top in order to make a change here in the economy.
I think so. You know, and as you know, James Carville put it beautifully. He said, it's the economy, stupid. And he was right when it was Clinton's election, and he would be right this time when it's Clinton's not election.
So you're saying we need a change, and if Republicans go into the House, I know you have a strong Republican background, being
not really. I'm much more. I've been much Democrat. I did Jerry Brown's flat tax when he ran in '92. Yes. I'm a Kennedy Democrat from the '60s. You know, I voted for Jimmy Carter in 1976. So, and I voted for Bill Clinton twice. So, you know, I'm not really that much of a Democrat.
But now when you're looking at this election, that's where the change could come.
Well, yeah, that's where it does. I mean, you know, Barack Obama was terrible. I mean, W was terrible as well. Okay. But Barack Obama was awful, and Hillary's the third term of Barack Obama. That's the last thing we need. And I think you're going to see a change, and I think we're going to elect Trump. And I think Trump has the potential of being a great president. But do remember, it's much harder forecasting the future.
Yes.
Than it is the past.
Well, I'm not going to ask you to take in your crystal ball
I'm
just yet.
Just telling you that.
I'm wondering from an advisor perspective, what do they need to know now to kind of calm their clients who are so strung out and worried right now about where the economy's heading?
Well, sometimes worry is good for you.
Yes.
And if you'd calmed your clients down in 2008, it would have been a major disservice. So what you want to look at is say, what are the prospects here? And you know, we've had an awful economy for what, 15 years now? Yeah. I mean, it's a long, long time with W and Obama. And if my guesses are correct, I think there's going to be a big change, and you're going to see a huge improvement in the U.S. economy.
But I think you said it best. This has been a very slow economic recovery.
The worst.
You can call it that. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think, but why is that? What have investors done, and why are investors doing it? To be honest with you.
Well, the recovery is slow because of government spending, because of higher taxes, because of more regulations, because of really bad monetary policy, and because of bad regulatory and trade policies. But other than that, it's been great. I'm just joking with you. Yeah. But the truth is, when you have bad policies, don't expect good results, and that's exactly what's happening now. And when we come in, if we got a corporate tax at 15%, how would that do it? Highest marginal income tax rate, 25%. Reducing government spending as a share of GDP substantially, freer trade, minimal regulations. I mean, this place is poised to be a rocket ship. Yeah. And I think that's what's going to happen.
So now I'll ask you to take out your crystal ball. Okay. Now, when we go forward from here, where are we heading? What could happen next?
If these policies are put into place, as I think they will be, I think you're going to see one of the biggest expansions the U.S. has ever seen, because an expansion depends upon two things: where you are and where you're going to be. Where we're going to be is very high, but where we are is so low that it makes this expansion look enormously good. It's like buying a stock. You want to buy it cheap and sell it dear.
Right.
And this economy is really cheap now.
So what kind of time frame are we looking at for this skyrocket?
You know, when we did it with Reagan, when it happened there, you looked at a time frame from, 1980 to 2006? Sure. I mean, that was a quarter century of expansion.
And how long did it take to really feel that boost, though? If it was
year and a half.
Started,
year and a half.
So if we start now, 2017, January 2017, if that's our liftoff point, you think a year and a half, we could be sitting there June 2018, and things
if the next president makes the same mistakes as Reagan did, yes, it'll take a year and a half, maybe a little longer. Yeah. When we cut taxes, we phased them in. Now, if you know they're going to cut taxes next year, what do you do this year? You defer all the income you can. Okay. That's why we had the big drop in 81, 82. But once the tax cuts took place, pow, it was like straight to the moon. We had growth rates in there on quarterly basis, annualized, of 7, 8, 9, 10%. I mean, Chinese growth rates. And we're ready for doing that again. I mean, it's really just amazing how many quarters, half years, we had over 7% annualized. I mean, that's real big stuff.
Absolutely.
And these people have all lost their heart and all lost their hope. and they're all talking about maybe we get 3.5%, 4%. No, we're going to get big numbers.
Big numbers.
We're going to put it out of the park. And once it starts, you can't stop it.
Well, Dr. Laffer, this has been amazing. Thank you so much. I hope
It is
I hope
my
we're
pleasure.
heading to the moon.
Well, I think we are, and I hope
great.
so too. I mean, I hope so. But my analytics here, now
Yes.
this is not my hopes.
Okay.
My analytics tell me that we're on the verge of a real expansion, and that'll be loads of fun.
Excellent.
Thank
Dr. Laffer,
you.
thank you so
My
much.
pleasure.
For Investment News, I'm Matt Ackerman.